Hey, it's Pandamogia. I am reviewing Lauren Southern's book to those of you who don't want to hand cash to a right-wing grifter. I'm not going to be talking about the 3 chapters she released to the public, but I will be dropping some thoughts on Destiny. Skip there if you want to. I respect Lauren Southern's work. We're close in age, neurodivergent, ex-right-wing activists. She just got much more fame and much more balls than me. It's very clear in her book that her main issue is with dishonesty in political commentary. She no longer feels right-wing, but what puts her in a atypical position is that she still has a firm stance on immigration. This book is trying to show context behind her edgy internet persona that unfortunately she has trapped herself into. So when you start reading from the beginning of the book, she sounds pretty depressed. She has to give fake names to new people she meets, so that way she can make sure she won't be Googled by anyone. Don't be a leftist. That's the main advice she got from her parents. Lauren Southern grew up in a woke, immigrant-heavy area. Her dad was a big fan of Ezra Levant. So when her Why I'm Not a Feminist video became viral, Ezra invited her to join Rebel Media. This was such a big deal in her working class family. Lauren Southern loved being in the spotlight, the riots and edgy memes about the mystery of her true ethnic identity. Is she a Nazi or is she a Jewish spy? Eventually she went independent as she did not feel comfortable talking about Israel on Rebel Media, and this is when she met Tommy Robinson in the UK. Very slowly she started to realise the corruption in the right wing's just business approach. The right wing are harder to cancel. They don't like reading through crucial details that are conveniently missed out. Is this because Lauren Southern endured this horrific trauma of Andrew Tate her? And if that's the case, why did she not make this public sooner? Once again, this struck to me as her having a naive trust in the process, or maybe she didn't want to muddy her right-wing street cred. Either way, she'll take a coke addict over a Puritanism addict. She often bashed evangelical Christianity. Perhaps this was her way to blaspheme Islam with Allah is, and she thought that was acceptable. But unfortunately, her doing that is what got her deported from the UK, and she was stranded like an animal in France. As you can see, Lauren Southern did not get a good impression of Western Europeans. She was pretending to be the saviour of Western traditions, even though she wasn't deeply Christian or racialist. She felt rootless as a Canadian, especially amongst identitarians. They aren't exactly a good representation of the average Western European. Why is Lauren Southern just attracted to some edgelords? So one of the identitarians that she got on well with was Brittany Pettibone. She respected her genuine social conservatism, and together they went on a trip to Russia, as Lauren herself arranged to speak to Alexander Dugin. The trip was pretty fruitful, though Lauren did feel like the opportunities available, they were just a little bit too sus. Her Borderless film work was dangerous, daring, and incredibly independent. So she wore a headscarf in Morocco right after some girls were beheaded. She even met and filmed neo-Nazis in Lapland. Of course, this never made it to the final cut. So it's only the far-right fans who notice how sympathetic she is to illegal migrants, and they hate her for it. This is my favourite part in the book. Her filming an illegal military zone in Turkey. Lauren Southern risked serious imprisonment. But what actually happened? The Turkish intelligence were more civil with her than in the UK. Could be Maybe because she's white and the Turks didn't want to have bad PR. But like Lauren Southern, they expressed that they don't like women wearing burqas and they don't like unsustainable immigration. I actually feel like a lot of Westerners don't highlight this enough and consider this perspective. So I'm really glad Lauren Southern has added this crucial bit of information about people from other cultures. So Lauren Southern met her future husband in this trip. He was in fact one of the security guards telling her what to do. So I get it. This is pretty romantic, especially when you're just sick of all the chaos of getting deported once again. Lauren admits that she rushed into marriage. Divorce opened her eyes, realizing left versus right, Christian versus Islam. It's just all a spiritual conflict. Her ex realized that in order to properly destroy Lauren Southern, he has to learn from red pill men. This is when Lauren Southern started smoking weed at her parents' house and with her son, and ultimately her right-wing credibility was just completely destroyed. She's a single mum trying to survive, not some Kremlin plant. Remember, every nation profits by manipulating people. Guess what? She had more offers from Russia, but she declined quite a lot. Though she did do a documentary with Russia Today, RT. They gave her more freedom than you'd expect, but she didn't lean hard enough into sowing the vision. On the other hand, Tenet Media did give Lauren Southern total freedom. And I'll be honest, I think this is when she produced some of her best content. However, in 2024, Lauren Southern was cancelled based on Russian interference. That's what Russia wants, to make sanity itself seem like siding with them. This was what a Ukrainian lady told Lauren Southern. I felt like a freak because of my life on the internet. Destiny was much more forgiving of Lauren Southern's messiness. He saw hope in her. They sounded pretty affectionate. But Lauren didn't mention anything sexual. Is this true? Destiny pushed her to loosen rigid beliefs. Lauren would get him to read a theology book. Lauren felt like Destiny had a piece of the puzzle, as no one else has figured out right-wing ideology perfectly. So ultimately they broke up over the news around Trump. I still don't feel like she was completely honest about Destiny cheating, though to be fair to Lauren, she was long divorced from her husband. Destiny wasn't divorced. To her, it wasn't an affair. And to me, I feel like this is probably not the best thing she did in her career, because all it ultimately did is just generate hate from both the left wing and the right wing, because it was just confusing. Why? So throughout the book, Lauren extensively talks about choosing honesty. Parenthood shifted her priorities. She's stepping away from online chaos. Like Lauren Southern, I do sympathise with how she gets what Gen Z are apathetic about. They're not just being lazy, they're just surviving. So Lauren Southern's book ultimately is a flawed, honest, messy read for any woman trying to break into right-wing internet fame. This is in light of the UK flag protests. Women need to be aware of the dangers associated with this. Lucy Brown is actually a related UK figure who is aware of this space. I do believe this book will become relevant again in about 5-15 years' time, right after the right-wing populist failures will become super apparent to everyone. But I'll speak about this next time. Bye-bye.